Call all hands. Beat to quarters. Run out the guns. Stand by the starboard battery.
One broadside into it, if you please, Captain Bush.
Pointers on target. Flintstocks ready.
Aye, sir. Ready.
Fire!
Presenting Michael Redgrave as C.S. Forrester's indomitable man of the sea, Horatio Hornblower.
Looking back on what I suppose I may call a successful career, I can afford to smile at the worries which beset me as an ambitious and conscientious captain trying to muster a crew for the Sutherland. But those difficulties were real and painful enough then. I stared gloomily from the window of my lodging house and listened to Lieutenant Bush as he read my carefully worded proclamation to the small and highly derisive crowd of loungers in the market square.
Hear ye! To all young men of spirit, seamen, landsmen, and boys who wish to strike a blow for freedom, and make the Corsican tyrant wish he'd never dared the wrath of these British Isles. His Majesty's ship, Sutherland, of 2 decks and 74 guns, is at present commissioning at Plymouth, and a few vacancies still exist to complete her crew. Who wishes for a hatful of golden louis d'or for prize money? There will be fiddlers and dancing every evening, and provisions at 16 ounces to the pound.
Yes, wonderful tech.
The best of beef, the best of bread, and grog at midday every day of the week. All in addition to the pay under the warrant of His Most Gracious Majesty King George.
Pay
what pay?
Yes,
you get angry if you ask for it.
Where's my man gonna get paid?
Not much luck yet, sir. There's so many frigate captains recruited. And frigates always attract men more than a ship of the line, sir.
No, Bush. They've better chances of prize money. Well, I'll have to send 4 lieutenants each with half a dozen men round the southern counties. I don't care what you find, volunteers or pressmen, but I need another 50 seamen and 200 landsmen and boys. If I don't complete my crew, it means the loss of the command. You see to it, Bush,
Aye, aye, sir.
Master at Arms wishes to report, sir.
What more indiscipline? He has my orders to flog the skin off any mutinous seaman. I'll have no unrest at the start of a new commission.
I don't think it's that, sir. Why, look, here it comes now, sir. What a queer-looking lot of men he's got with him, sir.
Oh, good heavens, what creatures are these? Handcuffed together, some are in leg irons, all in rags. What are they doing on my ship? What's the
the devil is this?
You answer. I signed a receipt to the soldiers what brought them.
Soldiers? Where did these scarecrows come from?
Exeter Assizes, sir.
Huh?
I got a list, sir. 4 of them poachers. That one in moleskin breeches, his name's Waits. He's a sheep stealer.
Oh, is he?
The one in black was a brewer's manager before he was took for bigamy. The others is mostly larceny, sir. Except for them 2 in front what's in for rick burning, and the 2 in irons, they're robbery with violence. 30 of them altogether, sir.
And they've chosen service at sea instead of their sentences. Fine addition to my ship's company. Budding mutineers, sulky ruffians, half-witted yokels. Still, hands they are, and I must make the most of them. Might be worth trying to win their affection. Look, why are they handcuffed? Release them at once.
Beg pardon, sir. I didn't like to do without orders, seeing what they are.
Never mind what they are. They're in the King's service now, and I'll have no man in irons in my ship unless he's given me cause to do it.
No, sir.
These men are recruits in an honorable service with an honorable future before them. Now listen, men. Any man who does his duty as best he can has nothing to fear in this ship and everything to hope for. Now I want to see the dirt of the place you've come from washed off. Dismiss. Rice, find one of the purser's mates and see that these men are properly dressed.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mr. Bush, that's another 30 anyway. I think I've won some of them over. Well, my private opinion is they've made a bad bargain. They'd be better off in jail.
Let's see that color of yours. When we get the cut on you, we see the color of your backbones, too, if you've got any. Help us trying to make sailors of you. You'll likely finish up overside with a shot at your feet before we make us in. And a good job, too.
Thompson! What's the meaning of this?
Beg your pardon, sir. We're cleaning the prison dirt and fleas off them. But none of them ain't ever had a bath in their lives, and they won't get under that pump, sir.
I won't have those men cowed, Thompson, and I won't tolerate bullying. One day, all our lives may depend on their loyalty. Clean them by all means, but no bullying. Here, I'll speak to them. Look, under the pump with you, men. It won't hurt you. When we get to sea, you'll see me under that pump every morning at 7 bells. Isn't that so, you others, huh?
Yes,
You there, your name's Waits, isn't it? Now, set them an example. Under you go. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Come here, Thompson. Is that welt on Waits' shoulder from your knotted rope?
Well, sir, I had to use my starter a bit, sir.
Now, understand this. I won't have a petty officer on my ship who doesn't know when to use a starter and when not to. I'm not soft, but those men are bewildered, and hitting them won't clear their heads. Another mistake of this kind, and I'll disrate you. Now, get forward before I have you flogged in front of these jailbirds. So it went on. All the worries of preparing for sea, re-rigging, revictualling, wondering whether I could man my ship in time. And other worries, too. Maria, my wife, was with me in my lodgings. Tearful, cloying, affectionate. She had whispered to me that it was possible we were going to be parents again. A new worry for me to take with me to sea. And I felt guilty because I was just over the shock of the news that Lady Barbara Wellesley, over whom I'd nearly made a fool of myself aboard the Lydia, had suddenly married Admiral Leighton, the man under whom I was now serving. Had my appointment been due to her benevolent influence, or was it a subtle revenge out of pique? I asked myself the question anew when a boy brought a letter to my lodgings, addressed to my wife and me. The Angel Inn, Plymouth, May the 4th, 1810. Rear Admiral Sir Percy and Lady Barbara Leighton.
would esteem it an honor if Captain and Mrs. Horatio Hornblower would dine with them at this address tomorrow, the 5th, at 4 o'clock.
My dear, it's almost a command. We must accept. Oh, and I've only my blue sack gown.
Yeah. Oh, it looks perfect on you.
Oh, that's what you say about everything I wear. Tell me, is she very genteel?
Yeah. No. Who genteel?
Well, Lady Barbara, of course.
Oh.
She traveled home from Panama with you and the Lydia, didn't she?
Oh, yes. Well, she's Lord Wellington's sister, you know. She's a very charming woman. I must go down to the ship, my dear.
Oh, Horatio, must you?
Afraid so, yes.
Oh, I was hoping we could spend the afternoon together.
I'm sorry. There's so much to be done, so much to think about.
Oh. Genteel person. But why ever did she marry Sir Percy Leighton? She doesn't love him.
I didn't know that. Who said she doesn't love him?
Nobody said so, dear. But a woman doesn't need to be told these things. Why, it's obvious in her every look and gesture. It is strange, for a woman in her position has no need for social climbing.
I suspect it was a political marriage.
Oh.
The Leighton votes will be valuable to the Wellesleys if anything happens to the poor old king, and then there will be a regency, and, well, the Wellesleys are almost the only faction left with the will to carry on the war against Bonaparte. They'll need all the support they can get.
I don't understand these things, but she is a very charming woman, as you said. She asked if I was to accompany you on this voyage, but I explained that with the hopes we're beginning to cherish, it would be inadvisable.
What? You told her that?
Well, yes, dear. Why should I not?
Oh, no. No reason why not. Of course, well, it's a shame you can't come, but, well, never mind. I'll be back with a bag full of guineas for prize money before 2 years are up.
2 years? Oh, it is a lifetime. Horatio, how is the commissioning proceeding? Have you enough men and stores?
Nothing like enough. I need 50 more topmen, and topmen are not to be picked up out of jails. The flagship Pluto and the Caligula are almost ready to sail, and the East India convoy, which we're to escort, are already assembling. I can't see how we're to be ready in time.
Don't worry so, dear. You've never failed yet.
Look, I could spend all my next quarter's pay on stores and still not have bought too much. The Sutherland already shows my poverty. She's been painted by the dockyard in their usual niggardly fashion. Other captains pay out of their own pocket for white and red and gold leaf. I must be content with the dockyard, dull yellow and black.
I only wish I could live more cheaply so that you could spend more on your ship.
Oh, no. Don't reproach yourself, my dear. No economies that you could make could buy the pigs and fowls and sheep that I need, let alone the luxuries I must provide for entertaining other captains or perhaps the Admiral himself. Apples, cigars, raisins, cheese, port, sherry, Madeira, peppers, cloves, allspice, prunes, figs, a chest of tea, wax candles, a dozen shirts, 4 more pairs of silk stockings. Oh, I could go on endlessly. Oh... Well, let's go to sleep, my dear. The problem will keep till tomorrow.
The master! I said the master! Your life! Belay!
You'll have to use landsman's terms to them, Harrison. They're not seamen yet. They don't know what a mast or belay means.
The lovers don't know what anything means, sir. Hey! Stop! I said Jib Elliott's not sea. Damn my blast, you empty your good. Hey! You Cornish pesty. You're not in the tin mine now. It's brain you want, not brawn. What? You'd raise your hand to me, would you? Get up, you mutinous pig, before I kick your face in. Here, where's my rope turned out, sir?
I don't think we'll ever make seamen of some of them, sir.
Shall I arrest that Cornishman for attempting to strike a superior, sir?
No, Mr. Bush. He's too raw to realize what mutiny entails. At the moment, Harrison's method is best. After a week or two, he'll settle down a bit, I hope.
They'd better, or there'll be some floggings or hangings.
I'll keep the man at it, Mr. Bush. I shall go below and study my orders.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Bush sent me to say the last of the stores are coming aboard, sir.
Oh, very well, thank you. Wait a moment. You're Midshipman Longley, aren't you? Mr. Gerard's nephew?
Yes, sir. My first voyage, sir.
Oh. Well, Mr. Longley, attend to your work and do your duty, and well, you may be a captain someday. Oh, very well. Tell Mr. Bush I'll be out presently.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Longley.
Yes, sir.
Come inside, boy. Well, come in. Stand still. What was it you said last?
I said, sir, that Mr. Bush said...
No. What did you say last?
Last, sir? Oh, I said, yes, sir.
Oh. And what ought you to have said?
Aye, sir.
Very good. Well, remember that. You've a certain quickness of understanding. You learn how to handle men, and you'll make a useful warrant officer. You may go.
Aye, sir.
When I went up to the quarterdeck a few moments later and gave Bush the order to make sail, I found the decks in a horrible muddle as the officers drove the wretched crew, made more stupid than usual with weariness, to the mizzen rigging.
Just look at the lovers. 9 minutes already. Why, the Marines are better sailors.
The wind is back easterly. Rounding Devil's Point will not be easy.
No, sir. Race those yards round. Well up, sir.
Look at those fools of transports, Mr. Bush, scattering before the wind as if they actually wanted to be snapped up by a privateer. The flagship shortening sail. Get our royals in.
Aye, sir.
Flagship signal, sir. It's the Caligula. Make more sail. Take station ahead of convoy.
Oh. Gad, it's Captain Bolton who's got that job and not me. We'll have to run down to hailing distance and perhaps fire a gun before those transports have taken any notice of him. Well, I'll be damned. Now, the Indiamen are shortening sail, and as though the convoy wasn't scattered enough.
Admiral signaling for the Indiamen, sir. Make sail.
I'll bet he's raving mad. But you can't court-martial him. But those India captains make £5,000 out of a voyage. What do they care about an admiral?
I'd make them mind if I were in command. Night coming on, and the convoy scattered almost before it started. To feel that the Admiral was not showing to the best advantage, as I considered it was his duty to keep the convoy together, whatever the difficulties, I felt a cold chill spring to my forehead and a slight trembling in my legs. I knew what was coming. It happened at the start of almost every voyage, but I loathed and feared it. I would not give in. I would not.
Another signal, sir. Flagship to Sutherland. Take night station.
Very well. Acknowledge. Mr. Bush, take...
Aye, sir. Quarter mile to windward of convoy, sir. Look out, sir. Oh, I thought you were going to fall.
Yes, I've not quite found my sea legs, Mr. Bush. I've been ashore too long.
Lord Nelson was just the same, sir. For the first day of each voyage, he'd stumble like a baby. Talk about feeling ill, sir.
My resistance was at an end. Blindly, drunkenly, I staggered to the companion rail, lurched down to the half-deck, and along to the door of the after cabin. Paul Wheel, my steward, was laying dinner at the table. Get out, Paul Wheel.
Are you feeling all right, sir? Can I do anything for you, sir?
Yes, Paul Wheel, you can obey an order.
What's that, sir?
Get out.
Horatio Hornblower, starring Michael Redgrave, is based on the novels by C.S. Forester. Music composed and conducted by Sidney Torch. Produced by Harry Allen Towers.